If you're just joining, you're onto KAFTAN Television, you're onto the press. I'm Mikky, Attah. And this Thursday morning, we have a whole lot in the discussion segment, which is kicking off right away. So please, you've got to participate, you've got to anticipate, you've got to be a part of all that's going on. Remember, if you were with us from the beginning, I did tell you that our former president and the only Ijo president, the only South president we've had in the course of time, Dr. Goodluck Ebele Jonathan addressed Nigerians and said to them, Nigerians, you must reject bad leaders. He's also saying you are to shame them. Shame bad leaders. That's coming from a whole former president himself. Did he really mean it? How are we to go about it? Well, it's not my thoughts. It's also going to be the thoughts of my guest who is right here in the studio with me. So, Comrade Rikki Nwajiofor joins me this morning to make sense of it all. Comrade, you are welcome.
It's my pleasure to be here.
It's a pleasure for you to be here after a long while. You're welcome back to KAFTAN Television.
Thank you.
Okay, I must tell you, Comrade Rikki is the National Deputy Secretary General of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, NYSC, national. So he's an upcoming nationalist. He's also the convener of the Coalition of Patriotic Youth Leaders. That's talking about COPYL. Okay, Comrade Rikki, a former president has said to us that we are to reject bad leaders.
He's very correct. Actually, in fact, as if he preempted us, or probably he took a clue from us, because we had a program yesterday, a press conference, KAFTAN TV was invited to, and it was aired. We made it categorically clear that in 2027, it is not business as usual. Bad leaders will be put to shame with all their monies. Money will never play a role in 2027. It is high time we got it right in Nigeria. Nigeria is overblessed. Our problem is bad leadership. And then saying, coming from a past president, that we should not just reject them, we should shame them. Somebody must lose in his polling unit, lose in his state, lose in his local government in the forthcoming election 2027. It might interest you to know that people have started campaigning. Elections of 2027 have started. Parties have started doing their primaries. So people should not relax. 2027, we must shame bad leaders. How do we shame them? The youth have decided, as at our press conference yesterday, we kickstarted a movement. What did we do? That we're going to handpick by ourselves our own candidates per state. Go to senatorial zones and we'll say, from your antecedent, it's not just handpick because you have money. You may not have anything. But if we check your antecedent and you have leadership prowess, and you have what it takes to be a leader, empathy. You must have an empathy for your people, because most of our leaders are heartless. Some of them don't even have empathy. People are suffering, you don't care. You're buying mansions with allocations coming from the federal government, meant for your citizens, meant for the people, your subjects. You are just squandering people's funds. You don't have empathy. So we must go for people who have the empathy, who have patriotism. You must put Nigeria first in all you do for you to be a leader. Either at the national level, or at the state level, or at the local government level, you must put Nigeria first. So patriotism must be there. Empathy must be there. Selflessness must be there. And then we know we have human frailties. It can come, but let not human frailties overshadow these qualities. So we decided that we are going to choose by ourselves. And yesterday we made a press conference and showcased the same Goodluck. His name is Goodluck, but this one is Goodluck Nwaneri from Imo State. He was the pilot. Youth leaders came, Youth Assembly of Nigeria, National Youth Council of Nigeria, Youth Organization of Nigeria, more than 10 youth organizations that have national structures came together to say enough is enough. That we are tired of going to primaries and then parties will present bad candidates, and then you'll be stuck in between the Red Sea and the devil. Okay, let's just manage this one. Not at all. We want to project good candidates, good aspirants, so that in primaries we'll have good aspirants and we'll say, oh, this is the best among them. Not, oh, let's manage this one out of money. No, it's not going to happen again. So we started with a pilot phase. Good luck, Maneri was chosen in Imo State. We're going to go around about that. So it is time to shame bad leaders. Bring your money 2027 is not going to work. You must be good.
Yeah, yes, yeah. But with, you know, some people are saying current politicians are very, very strategic about what they're doing. Beyond what we see about them squandering money, they say they're very deliberate about weaponizing poverty. So weaponizing illiteracy, weaponizing even right down to what's that thing called? Palliative, right? So it's almost like a palliative government. So you are actually sitting, well, somebody in one local government is actually sitting and waiting for those crumbs, for those pittance to fall upon them, and then they say, okay, well, of course we're going to vote for you and all that kind of a thing. So how are you going to be able to circumvent that? Because I mean, money wise, these are money bags.
Now the word you used, which has been my phrase all the time, weaponizing poverty, right? It is intentional. Very heartless set of politicians that we have. They weaponize poverty in the sense that when they give you a crumb of 10,000 naira, 20,000, 2 noodles of rice, you jump up and say Messiah has come. That is a fallacy. That is so wrong. Now we've sensitized, and we are still sensitizing our youth. Come 2027, if you survive it, if you survive the current hardship and everything that we're passing through and reach 2027, my dear youth, you will not die in 2 months in that 2027 if you don't collect that noodle of rice, if you don't collect that 10,000, 20,000. Be contentment. Be content with whatever you have and manage it. Vote the right person. Reject that 20,000. In fact, even if you want to collect the 20,000, collect it, pocket it, and go and vote the right candidate. It is your money. You can collect it and still vote the right candidate. In fact, in 2027, what we are campaigning now, and what we even said yesterday, that we will vote across parties.
Right.
There is no party to be chosen. We are voting candidates in 2027 and not parties. You can vote a president in this party, a senator in another party, a governor in another party, and state assembly in another party, as long as they are our chosen candidates. And then we put this weaponizing poverty. You see how bad people are. Some of them are already hoarding money. Towards the tail end of 2026, they will begin to unleash some palliatives. They'll go to their state and grade 1 dusty road. They'll go and dig a borehole. In this modern time, you are not ashamed as a political office holder that what you are parading yourself as an achievement is a borehole. In 21st century, are you not ashamed? What will be written of you after your death? What impact are you making? We're talking about human empowerment, youth empowerment, ameliorating the hardships that people are facing, and you're just going to dig a borehole and you call all the media on air to come and cover it without shame. No, it's not going to happen again. We have learned your tactics and antics. So you start hoarding the money, no problem. But I'm assuring you that in 2026, towards the tail end, when the money starts coming out from you people, and then at the first month of 2027, we are going to collect it and still vote the right candidate. It is still time. We have a good time now. Yeah. Start using those money to affect lives. Let me tell you, the 1 billion you are planning to bring towards the tail end of 2026 for campaign, if you use that 1 billion from now to empower the youth in your constituency, in your state, you must have empowered, you must have reduced poverty to minimal level. Why wait for that one? Why wait towards the tail end of 2026 to bring that 1 billion so that you can buy votes? Does it make sense? Are you not wicked? Use that 1 billion now to select at least 200, 300 to 500 youth. That 1 billion will affect their life. If you give 1 million to about 100 youths, what do we have? It's just 100 million. So 1 billion will get you like 1,000 youths. And then those 1,000 youths, out of them, at least if you have those who will squander their own, give and take, 200, 300, 400 may squander their own. But you must have made about 300 millionaires. If you make 300 millionaires in your state within a space of 2 years, your name will be written on the sands of time and in gold. So why wait to buy votes with 1 billion, 2 billion? Why not be humane enough to use that money and affect lives and impact on the youth and the women? That's what we are saying. Don't weaponize poverty. And we are saying enough of that. So that is why we are choosing by ourselves candidates that are credible, state by state. It will surprise you. In the next 1 month, we will be unveiling another one in another state. And that's how we're going to do it. We just use a prototype of Imo State to unveil Goodluck Nwaneri. We're going to unveil other states and senatorial zones. We must shame you bad leaders in 2027. Nigeria belongs to us. Enough of this vote buying and all of that weaponizing poverty.
Right. Okay, you're saying enough of it. Well, a typical viewer of the press, you will notice that I'm very passionate about these youth groups. You're about the third youth president or youth executive that I've brought in of different youth groups. I'm very passionate about it. If for nothing else, at least when I was growing up, we were always told the youth are the future of Nigeria. Tomorrow. We're the leaders of tomorrow. And look at now, with the wrinkles all over me, no leadership position.
We are not accepting tomorrow again.
I'm very passionate about it. I want to make sure that youths now are, stepping up to the plate. But I must tell you, there's been this accusation pandered around that, are the youths even prepared? Are they ready? Can they make it? Because we're told that some of these youth groups are very contented with 2 million naira that they fling at you, and you're like, oh, thank God. And from then on, every government project, you give thumbs up to.
2 million naira is even much. Some are contented with 500,000, 200,000.
That's what we're told.
Say, but in every 12 disciples, you have a Judas.
Right.
That does not make all the disciples Judases.
Okay.
So there are youth groups that are just floating themselves to collect money.
Okay.
But then there are those with the antecedents. They shout all the time, and when you look, they don't even have any money with them because they are not interested in the money. They are keen for a better Nigeria. Their target is for a better Nigeria. Okay. Now, what politicians do? I will tell you. There have been, in all the youth organizations that are strong, like National Youth Council of Nigeria, we suffered a decade of crisis, leadership crisis at the national level. Who did that? Politicians. They will just go and bring one youth that they know that is vibrant. Come, don't worry, we'll protect you. We'll have contact of the police commissioner, IG, don't worry. Even if they arrest you, we'll call him to release you. You will not go to jail. You have money. Go and cause faction in that organization. Do you know why they do it? Because they don't want us to have one voice. They know that if we are united and have one voice, NSAS is a case study. At the beginning of NSAS, you saw the tsunami. It was coming. But I bet you they gathered youth leaders and promised youth leaders money. Some of us rejected the money. Some collected and decided to form opposition against youth leaders. And I will tell you categorically, some of them who collected that money they are regretting today. I know a few of them. They are regretting today. They collected the money to oppose the NSAS.
Yeah.
And today, because some of them started even tagging it, they brainwashed some of my colleagues from the north. They called it is the Southern agenda. That it was a plan to topple the government of Buhari. But it wasn't. It was a plan to say enough is enough. And it sanitized the police organogram and the police sector. It sanitized the police force, Nigerian police force. They banned SARS, even though they rephrased it. Yeah, but at least you can see the human face in police force now. Yeah. It's coming. There are some bad eggs among them, but that will not make us categorically say that police force is bad now. No. They are doing their best. They're trying to sanitize. How did it start? NSAS started it.
Right.
So that is to say that if we are united and make a movement, the politicians will be put to run. How many are there? Do you know that we have over 120 something million Nigerian youths by statistics?
Yeah.
Just 10 million of us will put them to run. They are not up to 200,000. How can just a handful of 100,000, 200,000 persons hold us on hostage? Are we okay? Nigerian youths, are we okay?
Oh no.
No.
Yeah, I know.
So we need painful to say enough is enough. How much are they giving? They give you 10 million, 20 million.
If you're lucky.
That's something.
Even 2 million.
I said some are contented with 500,000, 200,000. They give you that 20 million. I'm even saying it was exaggerating. Let me tell you what 20 million will do. How many of you in that organization? At most, all of you will get 1 million. How much is a bag of rice? Buy one bag of rice from that 1 million. How many remaining? My brother or my sister, you're going to go and take a bottle of drink from that money. Truth be told, you must take one or two bottles. Yeah, it will go down. How much is your house rent? Are you aware that since August or June last year, house rents have skyrocketed 300%? How much are you paying in your house rent? Can that money pay your house rent? These are the things you need to think. If you elect good leaders, when you work for your money and you have 100,000 in on your palms. That 100,000 will pay your house rent, train your children, and give you a good life. But because you elect bad leaders, you support them, you earn 10 million, 5 million, and you look at the 5 million, 3 million, 1 million, it's nowhere to be found. So it's penny wise, pound foolish.
Right, penny wise, pound foolish, and that's a message to the youth. Another allegation, which I think I should bring to you because you will address them squarely, is that a whole lot of mayhem is also being generated and coming from the youth. Let me use myself as a typical example. When I was growing up, I used to think that boys were bad people. Because every time we used to, watch the television, all the bad people, all the criminals, all the baddies, the bad guys, they were all men. So I grew up really thinking, that gender, those are bad people. You understand? So what I'm trying to say is that you really have to, be deliberate about projecting, like you said, those who are, should I say, relevant, those who are forthright, those who are serious. For instance, if you mention a name like Omoyele Sowore, it will ring an instant bell to people. Whereas if you mention some other names, you have a sense of, are they for real? Well, can they be compromised? You understand? This is somebody who say, please take me back to prison. No, take me back. I'm not even coming out. You understand? So these are the kind of things we're talking about. We want to see the credible ones really standing right out there so people can say, oh, yes, it might be so, but, so that you won't say, oh, all these youths, they're Yahoo boys. All these youths, oh, these are the youths even ready. These are the kind of comments you're getting from Nigerians now because of, the projection of the bad ones.
The truth
and
is
the non-projection
of the good ones.
The non-visibility of the good ones.
In fact, let me start from the last statement you made.
Okay.
Non-visibility of the good ones.
Right.
The non-projection of the good ones. That's actually what spurred us yesterday. It was our first press conference to unveil. We unveiled one person who said, good luck, Waneri, Chidera Waneri. We've checked his antecedents. We say, we are unveiling this person.
Please, let me cut you in right there to tell our viewers that KAFTAN television was right there. It's well covered. Check out our news bulletins and you'll see the coverage of that press conference. Go ahead, sir.
So when we unveiled him, before we did that, we checked his antecedents. As a philanthropist who is less than 40 years, he has empowered numerous youths. Less than 40 years. And he has no interest in politics. We actually gave him a mandate that we need people like we have. I will tell you, we'll have more than 100,000 of Nigerian youths who are doing well, who are less than 40 years. They are doing well, they have the money, they have the good heart, they have the progress, but they are not showcased. Nobody identifies them. This is our task. We want to identify those people. Good luck one area has been identified in Imo State to come and join politics. We gave him ultimatum. What we do is that if we identify you, we'll give you a letter. Please respond to us in 1 week. But we are sending you as our ambassador of the youth and the Civil Society Council. Go and represent us. Don't trust human beings 100%. The person may go there and then mess up a bit. Yes. But if the person messes up after the first tenure, we remove the person and go for another person. When we begin to shop for good ones, and then when they know that, oh, if I mess up, I'm not going to be re-elected, even with all my money, they will begin to sit up. So the bad ones are always on the limelight. We are going to shop for the good ones. And I will tell you, actually, when the statement that when we are growing up, boys were seen as the truth is that youthful exuberance will always come with the prone of going the wrong way. Unless you have a very formidable family background. Right,
and also unless you have mentors and role models that you can see and aspire to.
Yes, so there is that peer pressure. Some people are taking hard drugs today because of peer pressure. Some people joined Yahoo not because they wanted, but because of peer pressure. And then over celebration of wealth.
Right.
That is what we are even campaigning come 2020. We are not going to celebrate wealth. We are going to celebrate character. I am happy with what Soludo is doing in Anambra State. Clamping down all the so-called native doctors and those who celebrate ill-gotten wealth. How can you be telling the youth, come, I will give you charm, you go and progress, Okite, what they call Okite and all those things. Why? That is the wrong mentality. In fact, they should go to jail. There should be an enactment of law that people who promote ill-gotten wealth, people who project them, or people who allude with them to do that, they should go to jail because they are taking our youth to wrong lane. People are talking about Yahoo. It's peer pressure. Today, the OB who is 18 years, getting to 19 years, has hammered in the statement, in the slang of the street. People are celebrating him. Media is carrying, they give him chieftaincy title. What do you expect Emeka to do?
Emeka must join,
Emeka or Musa must go and find the same way. This person has been celebrated. But if Ade does good and he's celebrated, and people know that the ill-gotten wealth of Obi, the wealth of Obi is ill-gotten, and they shun him, Emeka will look at Ade and say, Ade is highly celebrated. This one has been chased out of the community, or this one has been relegated to the background. Let me follow the footsteps of Ade. We need to celebrate the good ones. So what we are saying is, we are not going to use because of the bad eggs and say that the Nigerian youth are not ready. We are ready. Out of 120 million, do you expect less than 20 million to be bad? Out of 120 million, we must have like 40 million bad ones. If we had 80 million good Nigerian youth, then we must celebrate. But then, unfortunately, those bad ones are the ones at the lamp. But they are not much. Just like the bad politicians are overshadowing the good politicians.
Yeah.
And like I said, they are not up to 200,000. But they are overshadowing every one of us in Nigeria, dictating whatever we do. They are infinitesimal number, not more than 200,000.
But of maximum power and influence.
But the people do not know that power resides on people. If 100 million persons come and say enough is enough, where will they go? How many even if they carry all the military and police, we don't even have more than 200,000. I think it's about 200 and something thousand Nigerian military. That's what the number is. So,
and half of them are even busy guarding the politicians. Anyway, put up the numbers on the screen. Once you see those numbers, you can call in and join in this conversation, because we'd like to know what you feel about the current situation where the youth are trying their best. Like they said, power is not given, you have to take it. And here we have a member and executive of a youth group saying how the plans, the methodology they're trying to make sure that this power is taken over. Let's have the numbers on the screen so that people can call in. In the meantime, though, I really need to ask you, because, you know, there's still this allegation, sorry to say, but I mean, it's actually obvious that most times these politicians, like people say, send all their children abroad, you know, keep their families away from any source of trouble, anything that will be detrimental to them, and then arm youths and you know, encourage them, pay them to go and do all the mayhem concerning elections. Ballot box snatching, an old man doesn't do it, it's a youth. Election rigging, a young person, the elderly woman wouldn't do it, it's the youth. You know, killing people, these hired assassins. Would you hire an elderly man to go and be a hired assassin? So all these are attributed to the youth. And sometimes, again, when we call some people to speak, you're very vocal. Some people we call to speak and you're like, is this one going to be our leader? How do you address those kind of problems?
Let me tell you.
Those are in people's minds.
Exactly. Let me even start with the last thing you just said. Some of them, you see, why they weaponize poverty. They weaponize poverty so that when they give you a crumb, hunger will drive you to go and do that nonsense. How can somebody who claims to be patriotic have his children abroad and come back and tell us that he wants Nigeria to be good? In 2027, one of our tactics and one of the strategies that we are employing to select those who are going to project come 2027 is that, one, your family must be here in Nigeria, witnessing what we are witnessing, passing through what we are passing through. If you have your families outside Nigeria, how will you know how much is a bag of rice or Pampers or everything? Your family must be here to know the school fees, and your families must be attending public schools. Most of these politicians are so heartless that they will wreck public schools and go and build their own private schools, hijack the amount, 100 million. Imagine you are paying for a term for a child, 5 million naira. At the end, Olodo will be Olodo. That's just it. But you are just spending our money lackadaisically. That is just it.
Oh my
why would that 5 million be paid when you have public schools that you can equip very well? Those public schools trained Awolo with them.
Right.
Trained Zeke.
Call all of them. Don't even mention them by name. All of them.
The public schools trained them.
Yeah.
The public schools, those days in UNN, where my father told me that as a student of higher institution, you are giving bursary. Right. You go to refectory to eat. You eat well, like a big man. You graduate, you are given a car.
Right away. And a job is waiting. Jobs are calling all over for you.
This was not done.
Hold your thought.
So let me just
hold your passion.
No,
right
let
there.
me just come on the last thing you said. So you are asking,
yes,
how do we ensure that youth do not take part in ballot catching and all other things? So the fact is, if you are told to go and carry a ballot box, tell that person, tell your child to join me.
Thank you.
If his or her child refuses to join you, don't go.
Do it. Thumbs up. We'll leave it right there, but please stay with us. We're just taking a short breather. When we come back, this discussion is going to be even more fiery than it is right now. So make sure you stay on, and next time, please make sure you're a part of it. Let's go on a short break. You're still on to KAFTAN television. It's still me, Mikky, and I'm still with Comrade Rikki Nwajiofor, the executive of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, telling us the direction the youths are planning to take over power in 2027, and we cannot but cheer them on. Now, I want to ask you, Comrade Rikki, right, I got your name right, Rikki. My mouth always wants to go Nikki because my name's Mikky, so you see, it's more of a tongue twister, but I'll get over it. Anyway, I wanted to ask you this, the snag, a lot of people say, is that the Constitution only allows candidates to contest for a political office through a political party. Now, the political parties have been pocketed. The political parties are, have lost all their viability. Remember when democracy started, like in 1999? Of course, the PDP would summon Obasanjo over for meetings and stuff like that. By the time he came into his second term, he overturned the tables, and it was like him calling them, not them calling him. So from then on, they completely, devolved their powers to the executive. Right now, a governor does, what? He's the one, like, I'm funding the party. So he's the one, calling the tune. Be like the piper. I'm the one paying the piper. They take the tune. So every appointment, every election, every contender passes through him, and it's his choice. How are you going to be able to overcome that gigantic hurdle? Because these governors now are really, really powerful.
The truth is that the major political parties will have been hijacked by the current political leaders. You can witness mass defection to this other side, APC or PDP. They are just reshuffling themselves. The truth is, Labour Party gave them a shock in 2023. Labour Party has also been hijacked. It's just a tip of an iceberg what happened. In 2027, it's not going to be about party. It's going to be about individual. Just like Labour Party from nowhere, from the blues, under 6 to 8 months, gave that wave. We're going to choose even the most unrecognized parties. We're not going to choose one. We're going to be like 1, 2, 3. Scatter our people there. And like I told you, ab initio, the vote is not going to be just party by party. You can vote a president based on this party, senator based on this party, House of Reps based on this party. If there is no existence of that party in your state, we will tell you a smaller party you're going to join, as long as you are our candidate. It's going to be a youth force. Now, what do? How can a governor be in charge of his party in his state? Yes, you are the leader of the party, somehow. But the supremacy of the party, of any political party, should not be played with. I listened to Erufai a few days ago, when he was narrating their intention in forming APC, that it was meant to fund itself, whereby every member will be contributing 100 naira monthly, that you don't even have to pay 1,200 for a year. You must pay it monthly. That monthly is to remind you, I'm still a member of this party. Your commitment. So you remember that you're still a member of a party, you pay the 100 naira. And with their target of having 15 million to 20 million or 50 million persons, that 100 naira monthly will be funding the party to do whatever they want. But then, unfortunately, even while I liked what he said, but then I faulted it somehow. It is because politics has been monetized in Nigeria. That's why you're looking at money funding the party. The truth is that in those 1992, when Abiola them contested,
yes,
it was not about money. Party was just there. People came to support. Oh, we love the ideology of this party. These days, parties don't even have ideology. Can any person tell me the ideology of PDP or APC or even Labour Party? It used to be, oh, we used to have ideology. Project your ideology on daily basis. And then, if those parties are there, the smaller ones, we'll carry our members, put there, go and contest here. Do your primaries. And I said that be an issue. When we have 2-3 good candidates coming for primaries, we will have a choice in choosing the best. But when we have rogues coming for primaries, you're standing between the devil and the blessing. Who do you choose? Let's manage this one. We're going to choose the smaller parties and do our tsunami based on candidates. And let me say it as a final point on this one. It is not going to be monetized. Politics is not going to be monetized in 2027. Just know it. Party or no party, take your supremacy. You put your forms at 100 million so that you debar the youths, the good ones, from purchasing the form. You already circumvented it. In fact, it's not going to be money politics in 2027.
Right, that's an assurance that money politics is not what Nigerians are going to play in 2027. How is that going to work out? How are we going to do it? Well, he'll hold the thought right there. We'll take a very short time out. We'll be right back to let you know how, the whys, the where, the hows, the 5 H's. Let's just take a breather right here. Please, please stay with us. Right, it's still the press this wonderful Thursday morning. I'm so glad you stayed on with us, as did our wonderful comrade Rikki Nwajiofor, National Executive of the National Youth Council of Nigeria, who's letting us know how, where, what, why. Now, Comrade Rikki. No, I like the ideas. I'm thrilled. I really want this to happen. But like I said, the political parties are very strong. Now, you've mapped out your strategy to be that when you identify, viable, credible, transparent, and people of, who are capable, because now we've dumped meritocracy. Yeah. All we want are yes men. Oh God, this is Oga's person. Okay. Now you've identified those people. You put them in these smaller, so-called smaller political parties, right? Because we already know the other ones are hijacked. It's Oga's person that will go in. That one, we've seen it time and again, right? Yeah. You put them in these other parties. In fact, it even happens now that once these people contest in these big parties, as soon as they lose the primaries, they jump to these smaller parties, contest there, and they win. To show you that these are the people's choices. But this is where I want my question to go to you. Please, please. I want you to please think of this very carefully. You notice now that a whole lot of them, when they go into the state houses of assembly, when they go over to the House of Reps, once they climb into the Senate, Oh, you took the words from my mouth. You took it from my mouth. So you will suffer, identify them, support them. In fact, a whole lot of times the youth contribute their own hard-earned little money in their bits of unemployment. Push these candidates forward. It's such a tough struggle. They will do by-election. They will do rerun. They will. I know a candidate who did 2 reruns. He was in YPP in a PDP state. 2 reruns. He won both times. That was when they now said, this one, let us even allow him. We are tired. There were 2 of them like that. The first one jumped straight over to Abuja and defected. So now everybody's expecting to hear the news. That is So now that's what I'm trying to tell. How are we going to tackle that? All they do is jump in and defect to the ruling party. Immediately they go to the ruling party, bam, the rule dies. Because ideally when you defect, you get out of the seat. But when you defect to the ruling party, oh my God, welcome. All your sins have been forgiven.
So said one senator.
Wonderful. How do we get out of this wonderful?
Now, the truth is, I said it while I was speaking. If you breach the trust we place on you will repose on you, and you breach it, just be assured that you are just there for one term. The next term we will shame you, like President Goodluck Jonathan said. Shame the bad leaders. For you to leave that party that we decided to showcase you through the small party, so-called small party, and then you feel you've arrived. Let me go and dine with the big ogas, so that the caucus, you join the moving train. That moving train will take you back to your village. The next election. We already taken the worst of Goodluck Jonathan. We will shame you and will reject you, because it means you've beaten the hands that fed you. You've forgotten the days of your humble beginning. You've rejected your people. They gave you that mandate from that particular cradle, that small party. We have a lot of them here.
Too many.
From Enugu State, I'm from Enugu State. Okay. 1 or 2 have done that. They left the party, citing the party has small issues. Don't worry. Election is coming. You will lose out. And that big party you think you've defected to, they will still get orgas persons to replace you. It happened to 1 or 2. They defected to another party. It wasn't even the masses that rejected them. They failed in primaries because the big orgas that have been in that party have their own candidates they were projecting. They removed them. And then they came back trying to seek for votes, and people rejected them. So what we're going to do, like I said, if you breach the trust, we will reject you next time.
So what you could actually do is tell them from the onset, please, you know,
there should be a pact. There'll be a pact.
Make the pact clear that, listen, are you coming in here to defect? Is your mind on APC? That is a ruling party. Is that your target now? That is it. Tell them, go there and contest right now. Because we don't want a situation we'll suffer to get that up. Because immediately they defect, you notice they relax.
And then on this note, we also calling on AGF, Attorney General of the Federation.
Right.
That law that says if you defect, your seat is declared vacant.
Right.
Should be upheld.
And enforced.
Towards the end of this year, we are forming the advocacy for that, and it's going to be a massive advocacy.
Beautiful, because if not,
it must be implemented
absolutely
by this year.
Perfect.
If you defect, vacate your seat.
That's
if you're not comfortable on that seat, it means you don't want it. Go home.
Please now.
Plan the next election and go to that particular party and contest the primaries. Leave that seat belongs to that party. It doesn't belong to you. It belongs to the party. You contested. Nigeria has not started on independent candidacy. No. So we are planning and pleading that it will succeed. Independent candidacy. It will actually help a lot.
But so have you noticed some of these candidates actually took part in the primaries? Like I told you, let's say now you look at your state, maybe you're from, I'm just giving an example, you come from a PDP state in the sense that the governor is in PDP, right? Then you now say, oh, well, you know, I want to go for my re-election into the House of Representatives, and you come over for your ticket. Now the governor has some people have been you know, rolling around him that, please, is House of Reps that I want. Okay, don't worry. I'll guarantee you.
Just imagine.
Now,
I'll guarantee you.
Yeah, okay. Now he actually delivers that is candidate, and you lose your re-election bid even at the primaries level. you jump into one young democratic, undemocratic, and democratic, now democratic party, right? You pick the ticket effortlessly. You win the election because of your antecedents in the first 4 years, right? Or the fact that you now have maybe mass sympathy because people now know that, oh, you were shoved out because of gas person. So they want to give you some justice. It's okay, you can come in. Now, lo and behold, you run back to your vomit, like the Bible says a dog jumps to his vomit. The people that rejected you, the party that never wanted you to be there, you enter there and go back to them. What are you going to do about those ones? Because when that keeps happening,
it is the same thing that we just said.
Please, let's listen to Mazi. Mazi has been struggling. Mazi, I see your struggle. Please, you are very welcome this morning. Sorry about it. We've been having a lot of hitches. Thank you. Thank you. God bless. Oga, keep to the one we're talking now. Well, let's go. Mazi, keep to the one we're talking now. We're so out of time. We have 1 minute, just 1 minute. Talk about this issue that's on ground now. So that way we won't, preamble about. Please, Mazi, do that for me. We have just 1 more minute.
Hello?
Mazi, we're with you. You're live.
Hello?
Uh-oh. It's like you can't hear us any longer. So... we are so out of time. So you know what's going to happen? Let's just tackle this issue of these these people we put our hope on, we put our mandate in,
defection,
push forward.
Defect. If they defect, if that's law,
don't wait till if they defect. Let us find a way that we're going to.
That's what I was saying. No, there is no way apart from pact with the people.
Yeah,
we are signing a pact.
Yeah,
that if we defect, we're going to reject it.
Right.
It is in fact it's actually a case of inferiority complex. You feel that you are not in a bigger party. You want to dine with the big.
Why did you contest
inferiority complex is dealing with you? In fact, you should go to psychological checkup. Now, if the AGF decides that this must be put into practice,
yes.
So that man that has come to the smaller party and then gotten the sympathy of the people, voted back and went back to his vomit, it will defect. If you defect, you vacate your seat instantly. It will make political office holders to retain their dignity, right, knowing that, oh, if you do this, my seat is vacant. We are still waiting on the Supreme Court to finalize the Rivers State saga. When they do, we'll have a precedence. If you actually defect, let it happen. I don't have a problem with all those people, but my problem is, why will you leave this party after your election? If you want to defect, don't worry. Towards the primaries of the other one, of the next cycle, you can now defect and go and contest there.
Please now.
Don't defect at the mid. Not after we must have elected you under 6 months, 8 months, 1 year. You are defected.
Please now.
Thunder there somewhere. And we'll use it in 2026. Thunder there somewhere. We'll use it in 2026. You are defecting from the mandate we gave you. You don't joke with our mandate. That is it. It's our trust.
Right.
Don't breach it.
Wow, it's just been wonderful speaking with you, Comrade Rikki. In fact, I'm fired up. I'm a little bit, Nigeria can almost make you a little bit pessimistic, but I'm now optimistic. I'm trying to see, this is really something we can do if we can all speak with one voice. Doesn't have to be the youth. What do you call youth? Everybody is a youth, as the Bible puts it to us. We're still young people. We're called children of God. So we're all children. This is a really good idea that Nigerians, to my mind, really need to examine, re-examine, and take whatever is viable and useful amongst these suggestions. So, Comrade Rikki, when next you're having your next press conference, make sure we are included in it.
Sure.
Okay. It's been a great pleasure speaking with Comrade Rikki Nwajiofor, who is the National Deputy Secretary General of the National Youth Council of Nigeria. All right, we've overrun our time, so that's as much as the press we can do this morning, and we have done a lot by the grace of God. So until we come your way next time, keep watching the press, and in the meantime, keep watching KAFTAN Television. I'm Mikky Attah saying have a wonderful and a fruitful, blessed day.